Okay guys, you know what? I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think I can do the fastest eBay listings. That's right guys, I don't mean to come on this channel and make crazy statements, but I think sub 30 seconds for an eBay listing is pretty darn fast. Okay, welcome back everybody to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about the fastest way to list an item on eBay. The way that we just started doing it, which I think has just changed the game for us in terms of getting eBay listings up. Like with this strategy, I think if you're in the right niche and you're selling stuff kind of like we're selling, and we'll get into that here a little bit later, you could easily do 200 listings a day in terms of just like putting them up in the draft bank, saving them for the week and whatever. You can do them really quickly with this strategy. I'm gonna break it down. We're gonna get right into things here, go in depth in terms of how we're actually going about doing these listings. But before we get into it, of course, I'm gonna need you guys to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and again, kind of follow along, leave any comments or questions, maybe some concerns. If you think you can do it faster, let me know in the comment section throughout this video. And with that, let's jump right into things. Okay, there's no need to waste time here. There's basically three main ways that you can do a new listing. The number one way is you're just gonna create a new listing. You type the title in, you see if you see anything that matches your listing. Maybe you click that and you create a listing based on that, or you create a new listing because you couldn't find anything that matched your listing. Number two is you sell similar one of your current listings. You go through your listings that you have already. Maybe you want a matching description, or maybe it's in the same category, or it's a similar item. You go through your item, you go ahead and you sell similar, and you fill out the details that are needed for the new item or to change the listing. You go ahead and you list that. The third way is to look up an item on eBay and then sell similar to somebody else's listing. This can be a little bit inconsistent in terms of from listing to listing on your page, because everyone can be a little bit different with different techniques, but for the most part, you can basically copy somebody else's listing and you can go ahead and use that. Okay, so those are the three main ways, and those don't really change, but there are many things you can do within the listings themselves to actually change the amount of time that it takes for you to get one up and listed on eBay. So my business partner Erval and I, we both had very different ways of doing our listings in the past. He was always going in and creating new listings, actually entering the item that he's listing, and then using the pre-formatted kind of filled out thing. We're selling video games, so they're all very similar. So we might look up a copy of Halo 3. It kind of fills out all the item specifics for us and everything that we need to know. And we can add a few details here or there, maybe our price, our description, our item condition description, whatever it might be. And then we go ahead and we hit list. The way I would do it is I would actually do a sell similar on another one of our current listings. I'd go ahead and change the title around, add our new pictures. I'd still have all the description and everything else that I needed there as part of that sell similar. And that was kind of the way I would do it. And arguably we were, I think, around the same amount of time, but this new method that we started using, this kind of changed everything. So what we realized going through a lot of our listings, because we spent a lot of time going through and looking at our listings over the last month or so, making changes to them and stuff. And what we realized is one of the things that we noticed going on is we have a lot of items that are the same. So we've got, 3, 6, whatever it is, listings for, let's say again, Halo 3. And they're all sitting there. They have different pictures, of course, because we do list them all individually. And we've already filled out all those details for those listings. So what do? You change one to a multi-quantity 6, you take down the other 5, put them off the platform, you've taken down half your listings by the end of it, and bam, we've got them all consolidated, we're ready to go. Every listing is multi-quantity, we just update the quantity whenever we get a new one, and we're all set. No, that's not what we did. And the problem with doing that, at least from what we understand, is that you're not going to be getting the daily amount of new listings up on the page. It's better to have an individual listing for every single item, and I know it's tedious and time consuming, but it gives you way better results in terms of selling that item. Not only can you have multiple listings to kind of get in front of a buyer or boost in front of, the ranks on eBay, but also it allows you to list things every day, which is one of the number one things that is required to boost your entire store in the search results on eBay. So no multi-quantity listings. That was not the answer here, but the answer actually lied in a very simple thing. Because we have so many items listed, we have over 5,000 games on our eBay store. The most simple thing that we could do was actually do a sell similar listing on the exact same game that we were already listing that already exists as a listing on our page. Let me explain. As opposed to going in and creating a brand new draft every time that we want to make a listing, let's say we're listing a copy of Grand Theft Auto. We know that we're going to have 20, 40, whatever it is, listings that already exist for that game on our page that have already been pre-filled out, the price has been researched, and everything is already done. So why wouldn't we just search up an active listing for one of those games, go in, change the photos, and maybe adjust the price and description if it even needs that, and then go ahead and list it, already using all the information, the item specifics that are already there. See, we're skipping the middleman. We realize that we've already done all these listings, so there's no need to create new ones. Mind you, there will be items that come in that we don't have a listing for that already exists, but that's okay. We can create a new listing for those ones. But by doing, this sell similar tactic and basically not repeating ourselves, using the listings that we've already created to create new listings without really changing anything, it drastically reduces the time that it takes us to list things. And I want to show you guys here basically how quick we can do it. So here we are in our active listings, guys. And what I want to do is really quite simple. Today, we're going to list a copy of The Sims 3 for the Wii. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to go up here and look up The Sims. And sure enough, look here, we have quite a few copies of it here. So I can go through all of the copies that we have and I can find one that matches for the Wii. And sure enough, we do actually have one right here. Again, if we didn't, I'd be creating a new listing, which is still pretty quick, but I want to break down how we're going to do it using this strategy, because for the majority of the games that we're listing, we do have a matching listing. We're going to go right here and we're going to do a sell similar just like this. This brings us into the listing. Now the cool thing here, title doesn't need to change. It's the exact same item. Custom SKU, sure. Let's say we're listing it to V80. There we go. Condition description doesn't need to change. The listing pictures themselves, well, they do need to change. I pop into here. I might add our 3 pictures and there we go. We'll let those load in. The item specifics, they don't need to change. The description, one of the cool things that we have are templates. So if the template isn't already in, I can just go here and I can select it's a complete game and it will preload our template. The price doesn't need to change. Again, we've already researched it. The shipping details don't need to change. Do you see where I'm getting at here? Our set ad rate, which I'm not going to show you guys, doesn't need to change. And sure enough, with what is essentially 2 changes to the listing, maybe 3 if you're really pushing it, that is the custom SKU, the photographs, and maybe the description if there's something slightly different, we've created a listing that can be done in under 30 seconds. Now, the cool thing here is that you could also use this technique using just the eBay search feature. It'll take you a little bit more time because there'll be a little bit more that you have to modify versus it being your own listing. But as you build up more and more listings, you can use this technique more and more, and it will help you save a great amount of time. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to apply to everybody. I mean, this really does require relatively identical items that are being listed. But even with clothing and stuff, if you've got, let's say, a Lacoste shirt that's the same size and maybe it's just a different color or whatever, you can do a sell similar very quickly versus creating an entire new listing for it. Doing things like having a description template and also maybe having a condition description that you can copy and paste will be other things that you can do to really help increase the speed of your listings. But using this technique, we're going to hopefully get hundreds of listings up now and be able to increase our daily listing limit and ideally be able to grow the store using this method. So I felt like I needed to come on here and share it. Maybe it's not that much different from the way that you guys do things, but again, just by doing these minor changes, we've been able to increase the amount of time or decrease the amount of time that it takes us to list something and increase the amount of listings that we're able to get up. Guys, that's it for today. That's our secret at the moment as to how we're able to get so many listings up every single day. And again, we're going to be trying this actually practically in a video coming up soon where we're going to be seeing how many items we can list in one day and then seeing the effect that that has on the eBay store. So I'm really excited to jump into that. But with that all said, we're going to wrap up today's video here. If you guys found some value in this video, I highly suggest that you go down and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more just like this. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and let us know down below in the comment section what's your fastest listing and what's the way that you use to get those listings up fast. With that said, I'll see you guys all in the next video.